Shivani Chetty, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Mark.
So the tradition, as always, is for the people who don't know who you are, who the hell is Shivani Chetty, and what is the value that you add to the world?
Hi. That is such an unexpected question. My name is Shivani. I'm an event tech entrepreneur from Gauteng, South Africa. In a former life, I was operational intelligence for Samsung Southern Africa. I used to run mobile and web apps for sales teams across Southern African countries, but events was always my passion. So I left, started an event planning company, got into developing tech for myself, and that's where EventMate, my event technology company, came about. And yeah.
So I want to get to EventMate, but I want to ask, as an events person, what is it about events that you think gets you so riled up?
I love envisioning a space where people can come and get together. And I know that because of COVID, it's a bit difficult at the moment, but I don't think humans will ever lose that need to be in touch with one another. So I love creating spaces where people are comfortable and connecting and networking with one another. And that has always been one of my passions.
Yeah, because you're so right. I mean, as an events person, there is something just so fulfilling watching people come together and connect with each other.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Okay.
So, for those who don't know what EventMate is, how would you pitch it, elevator pitch wise?
So basically what we do is we noticed that there was a gap in the industry for small and informal businesses. When I used to run my event planning company, I always wanted tools that would help me. I always wanted to work with other small businesses or informal businesses, but I was a bit scared because I didn't know where to find these different businesses because not everybody's listed on a website. And I didn't know how credible these businesses were. So I started developing tools for myself where I could make life easier for myself. So that's what EventMate does. We develop low-cost technology tools or solutions for small or informal event businesses.
Run me through the practicalities of it, right? If I'm a small events business, how would I use you?
So we've got one product that's out right now called eDelali.online. It's an online auction site. What we noticed was that people were still passionate about the events industry, but because of COVID and the last year and a half, they weren't making money. So what we decided to do was to create a platform where they could auction off their secondhand event items. So make money for things that were sitting in their inventory that weren't really making them money. We've got a second product that's coming out probably when the industry recovers. We call it the Airbnb of the events industry. So it's basically you can go online, shop for small or informal event suppliers or event businesses in your area, receive quotes, compare it, gather review and ratings, and help to build up the industry again. So we're quite excited about that product that's coming out later in the year.
So the very origins of the Small Business Showcase began because we as Suits and Sneakers also in events, right? We host our own events and we help others to do the same. And when COVID hit, through no fault of our own, we got just smashed to pieces. We rebuilt in the form of a studio like this, and my business partner and I thought, well, why don't we start getting other small businesses to come in here and kind of shine a spotlight on them. And here we are. Why I'm mentioning this is I'd love to hear about your life from an EventMate perspective, pre-COVID, COVID hits, and where to from here. Run me through what happened to you.
Oh, it's been a tough journey. Like I'm sure a lot of people, it's been a really tough year and a half. So before COVID hit, we were actually ready to launch a product to 155 early adopters. In tech language, that's early customers. On the 31st of March 2020. So we got the news that, this COVID virus is doing these sort of things across the world. We didn't really think it was going to impact us until a week before, on the 22nd of March, where the national hard lockdown was announced. By then, I had a startup team of 12, invested a lot of money into these different launches, and basically it all just fell through. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I mean, I feel your pain, right?
Yeah.
I really, really do.
Thank you.
Okay, so run me through this. Now, you can't, the hard lockdown is enacted.
Yeah.
You obviously can't run the launches the way you planned. What was your plan, or what did you do in the moment?
It was really difficult, hey? And I'm sure you must have experienced this as well, because you weren't quite sure each and every single month, is this going to end?
Yes.
Is this not going to end? What do I do? Do I pivot and try something different to get money into the business? With us, it was a little bit different because we had a lot of capital invested.
Yes.
And I had about 3 months runway to work with a virtual team. So because of the uncertainty, what I decided to do was let us get to know our customers a little bit better. So we started interacting with them on social media a lot more so that they could get to know us more and to trust us a little bit better, so that, you know, maybe if this thing ends in 3 months' time, we'll be ready to launch. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. 3 months passed and I lost a team of 12. It got reduced by 7 people, unfortunately. Yeah, and then we were at a situation where I had no idea what I was going to do next. Yeah, it was really difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I get you. This is why obviously I'm an entrepreneur and small business owner, and why I am always trying to foster these types of pieces of content and whatever, is that people genuinely don't understand how difficult entrepreneurship is.
It is.
And you know, my uncle and I were talking about this the other day, where I used to have this adage even in my own life where I said entrepreneurship, like anybody can be an entrepreneur. It's not true.
No.
Most people just don't have the chutzpah for the up and down and everything in between that comes for it.
Yeah.
So I really do resonate with where you're at, especially because I was in your industry.
Yeah.
We made the pivot toward this, but I miss events. We just ran in this space, it could be 2 weeks ago. We just got a taste of what it was like to have people back and then cut.
Yeah.
And it's on that note I kind of want to move toward, how do you see you guys moving forward right now with EventMate? Because we seem to be in these, that's why they call them waves, right? The ebbs and flows of it comes and goes, and there will be events in 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I believe that. And then we'll have a run. And so how do you think, how does it work for you? How do you see the future working?
I think, and I think you would agree with me, when you become an entrepreneur, something happens after 2 to 3 years where you become resilient enough, where you start to see things as not as a challenge, but as an opportunity. So what I'm seeing this as an opportunity for people to use our products because it's all online. Whereas previously, past COVID, they'd probably be used to more manual methods like a phone call or an email. So what we're doing is using our platforms more to get people interested in online technology. So I think that, yes, it's been bad, but for us, in a way, it's an opportunity to actually grow our platforms in the events industry.
I do feel long term, and I'd love to hear your point of view on this.
Sure.
Long term, we will be better for this, because now what we have is the hybrid model. And it is a beautiful model. It gives people the choice. And I'm with you. If you give me a chance to be in person, viscerally across from someone, I'll take it. But having the option is epic. Being able to watch the recording is epic, right? Choosing when and where. So I think long-term events will actually be better. It's this ebb and flow that we're going through right now, and the uncertainty that makes it a little bit difficult. But I share that enthusiasm. Do you, toward eventing?
I do. I think, honestly speaking, I got a lot of online digital fatigue this past year and a half. I actually wanted to interact with somebody face to face. It was very difficult being across from somebody on a digital or online call. I think most people, it would want them. They would want to interact more. So I think it's a good thing. Yeah, I agree with you. And now through the digital platform, because people are more open towards hybrid events, what happens is now you're able to access more people that are not necessarily physically in a venue.
Absolutely.
Which is fantastic.
And we've managed to change people's behaviors a little bit. Right, before COVID, it was like, let's run a webinar. What's that? Oh, let's do Zoom. Do we have to? And I agree that it's just the balance in them. But it shows you that even online, you can't get away with crappy production.
No.
Okay, so talk to me about what's happening in your world today And give me quite the practical end on EventMate. What are you focusing on today and for the rest of the year?
So we're quite excited. We've got a product launch at the SA Innovation Summit in September, where we will be auctioning off entrepreneurial, entrepreneur small business products in order to raise funds for their development program.
Got it.
So that's happening in Cape Town. That's also a hybrid event. And we're pretty excited because it's a massive platform. It's one of the biggest technology events in Africa. So we thank you so much to the SA Innovation Summit team. But we're really excited to have that platform to launch a product on.
Is there anything I haven't asked you about EventMate that the people watching on the other side would need to know? I
think generally what happens is that there is a confusion where people think that we're a marketing and an attendance event ticketing platform, whereas we're more the people on the background working on the actual operations of an event business and getting that online.
Got it.
I think that's the only thing that I would clear up.
So here's what I want to do. That's your close-up camera over there.
Okay.
I would love to give you the opportunity as a small business owner to leave a parting thought or message with anybody who's watching there. And when you're done with that, please let these same people know how they can get hold of you, contact you, etc. Over to you.
Okay. Thanks, Mark. Hi, I'm Shivani. If you are in the event space or you are an event small business or informal business, do get in touch with us. We do have tools that we are willing to help you to get your business on the road again. We're passionate about events, we're passionate about event businesses, and we're passionate about building low-cost technology to help you grow your business, because I do not think that this industry is going anywhere anytime soon. And I can see it from your passion on the social media platforms. If you're interested in our secondhand event item auction, please do contact us at info@edalali.online. That's info@edalali, EDALALI.online, to find out when's our next monthly auction. You can come and auction off your secondhand event items and make some money to pass you over through to when this whole COVID epidemic eventually ends.
I want to use this opportunity to thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Mark.
But I also want to encourage you from one event company to another in whatever form. I agree with you. I'm much more optimistic about the future than the present. I think it's coming back it's roaring back. Yeah. And it's for the very reason you mentioned in the beginning. There's something about connecting with other people. Yeah. And I've seen it certainly in the last 18 months that whenever people get an opportunity to do it, they take it. Yes. A lot of people get a flack for congregating in public and connecting when a pandemic's rolling, but the truth is it's so human nature to do so. Yes. And there's a downside to that when there's COVID running around, but the upside is people want to connect.
Yes.
And so they should. It's human nature. Yeah. So I just want to encourage you to keep flying that flag. We'll be doing the same, and especially from one entrepreneur to the other. It's brutal out there, but like you said, there is that little switch that makes you think, instead of challenge, opportunity. And I think you nailed it when you said that. So well done for what you've done so far. Well done for pivoting. We'll definitely have you back here sometime. But until then, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Mark, for having me.